have some Speakpipes to play.
We sure do. We got 2 of them from Devocite.
Sitting here and taking a break after taking part of the trampoline. It's a bit of a bittersweet. And I'm also listening to the podcast. For me, the bitter is all the good memories of watching the kids on the trampoline. The sweet is my house insurance goes down because I removed a potentially dangerous device from my yard. And also confused because I don't know what a live drop is on Patreon. Neither is Joe. So good job, Charles. Confused me. Making me wonder.
I just try to take your mind off of ruining your children's childhood and throwing away their most prized possession by, throwing out something to distract you, sir.
So what is a Patreon live drop?
So it's so that Patreon's trying and they're really pushing hard, which is essentially is like every other idiot software out there that goes, these are the good old days where your fans are just waiting breathlessly at this time frame to see your show. So don't you want to hype them up? And I went, sure, why not? And they're like, well, you should release this 5 days from now. Let's do a countdown. I went, no, you got 2 hours. And so I just hit release it. I think I was editing or publishing at let's say 11 a.m. Saturday morning. I set it to release at 1 p.m. Saturday afternoon. And so it just counted down the time.
So it's kind of like a YouTube premiere.
Exactly. It's there to get, let your fans know that you're dropping this thing. And I'm sure actually there are probably levels of contributors somewhere that would enjoy that, right? That, we get the exclusive at this time. I mean, to be honest, Devo begged for us to release it on Saturday instead of Thursday. So I said, sure, whatever, needy person. But that's what a live is. It was just easy to hit that button and move on. But it's nothing special. It's like just a YouTube premiere. Kurt, you're confused. So the internet is this thing that we get on and record together on, and then we put that show out, and then people actually hit play and listen to it. But it's not on 8-track like you think. It's actually coming through space.
I should have called in sick.
As he starts opening his mouth, that comes out, and Kurt just nods.
Yep.
All right, we got one more from Devocite. It says it's not a bad dad joke, so we'll see.
Must be telling the truth.
While sitting here taking part of this trampoline, I'm amused by the bus analogies, Charles. Really, actually, the trip to California over the Brooklyn Bridge. Those are really great. And Joe is right. Everyone needs a ticket. And I completely agree. And I am right there with you because this is kind of my job also. And I have people who've run projects that have been worked on for months, years, who come to us saying, hey, next week, we want to get this going. Expecting fiber, switches, networking. It's amazing how people know about things and do not involve people who need to be involved, or just don't communicate. It's kind of unusual. It kind of bothers me that people are that, and professionals, as you say, are that naive to think that, and yet they expect everyone to have the same courtesy for them. So yeah, Charles, I do get what you're saying, and you're right. People, sometimes you just miss the bus, and you have to wait for the next one.
That was the worst bad dad joke I've ever heard.
Okay, so what I do love about that face Kurt made is we have listeners live and through the podcast making the same face. Because what he's referencing is a direct story that I told on one of our pre-recordings for the show, which goes out on Patreon. And yeah, it's some. He just said some really great analogies, and I've changed this world. So come get motivated. Patreon.com/wise_nerdy. Here's an easier way to understand it, Kurt.
Roll that dice. I understand that.
But I don't know if John did that intentionally or not. But it was such a great. I'm not going to tell you what Charles said. I'm just going to reference what I heard that you didn't hear. So you can listen later.
Yep.